Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR VRS iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy everybody, and welcome to the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by 3DWrap.it, and we are here at Donington Park for a fantastic afternoon of racing here. I am Austin Knight, I'm joined by Andy Thompson, and we got Mark Tranter in the production booth, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Good evening everyone, good evening Austin, good evening Mark, and welcome to round 8 here at the wonderful Donington Park race circuit, which is going to be a very interesting one. Some very quick, fast corners with some hairpins thrown in there for good measure. That's really going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, certainly if there's close competitive racing in this round. So it's going to be an interesting round there, Austin, but as we see, we're well into qualifying at the moment, and the usual suspect is at the front of the grid at the moment, Thiago Marteau. It's a bit deja vu really with Marteau, Austin. He just seems to know where to put it in at the right times.
It absolutely was a fantastic race last week, and hey, this race is going to be even more fantastic. It's Donington Park. It's a pretty tight track, and we're using the extended layout, as some might call it, the Grand Prix layout. You know, we got the S's, that left-right chicane heading into the Melbourne hairpin. It's going to be an absolute fight heading into there, the opening few laps. Back-to-back hairpins, turn 1, that outside line's more faster than that inside line. So runs coming out of that final hairpin. We're going to be seeing some very interesting lines for these drivers. And don't forget, speaking of hairpins, don't forget about the old hairpin at the bottom of the S's. We've seen a lot of cars running wide out there, and it's certainly always entertaining to watch.
certainly a lot of corners to catch the drivers out if they're not completely on guard. But sort of looking at the championship so far, Thiago Marteau has won the last 5 rounds of the championship, so really on a massive barnstorming run up the leadership, and currently holds the P1 position in the championship with 257 points. Max Bartolona is in second place on 226, so needs to have a really good round, and hopefully hope that Marteau has some sort of issue that gives him a chance to claw back some of the points. Tellez currently in third on 212. Herbenu in fourth, Marteau's teammates on 208. But there's 3 drivers currently on that. You've got Herbenu 208, Varani 208, and Max Giacano in 208. So really interesting there for P4 in the championship. But you just can't look past Marteau at the moment. He's just been in dominant form week after week, and there's something exceptional going to have to take place to try and beat him.
Yeah, Thiago Marteau is a legend in these cars, and if you're looking to get into any sort of Formula 3 racing, this is definitely the series to hop into, and well, he's definitely the driver you want to look after, because he just knows everything on how to do it. Qualifying is over. Here is our grid. It's Thiago Marteau starting up on pole position with Pier Francesco Bartolo right behind Jerome Lamley in third, with Christopher Herbert, Max Bartolota, Antonio Tellez, Max Cecchino, Laurent Christopher De Riel, Will McIntyre, Alistair Hay, Roberto Fai, Massimo De Laurentiis in 12th place. Behind them is Matty Hingley, Clark Williams, Leonardo Cherry, Robert Ridgway, Rodrigo Duran, Andy Flint, Victor Barris, Lucas Maruk, Luca Verani, Simon Fessy, Ryan Berry, and Zoltan Zomotor in 24th place. Behind them is Andrea Brichetti, Richard Van Veen, Luciano Zanier, Alvaro Garcia, Stuart Millen, Hector Balaguer, Dave Martin, Kuchi Aito, Reed Dennis, Brian Vorse, Martin Devine, Matthew Brewer in 36. Behind them, it's Noel Richie Robertson, Kieran Richie Robertson, Nick Carty, Matthew Gracie, Rafael Munzer, Adam Townsend, and Ron Korlak at the end of our 43-car grid here at Donington. And it's time to get ready to rock and roll and have a good time here in Donington.
Yeah, definitely them first couple of corners are going to be important to try and get away at the front of this field, coming down the Payne-Arrestas through the old hairpin. Should be some hot action coming through them first couple of corners, certainly as the cars are going to be as close as they will be on lap 1, so certainly going to be an interesting first lap around Donington.
Yeah, first lap around here is going to get packed, it's going to get wild, and it's going to be a lot of fun as we're all getting ready to rock and roll here. The 5 red lights are coming on. Who's ready to go Formula 3 racing as we are green here at Donington? And what a start from third. Pier Francesco Jerome Lamley down to the inside. Pier Francesco Bartolo, but it's Pier Francesco going way wide in red gate. And Jerome Lamley jumps up into second place. Pier Francesco got really wide, almost got into the front wing of Herbeno right there. A horrible start for Pier Francesco Bartolo. Herbeno sitting in fourth. Max Bartolota up there into fifth place. The top 11 really staying in the same spot. Besides that, Matty Hingley jumping up 2 spots up there. But that is a absolute great start. Look how closely packed everyone is right now. Victor Barris right there has got a lot of cars around him, and this is a very, very clean start. It looks like Kuji Ito didn't take to the grid at all, so everybody in the back 10 spots, 32nd and lower, did gain 1 position as we see our first trip into the S's right there. And in typical iGPFun action, no overly over-the-top overtakes in there, but Max Bartolota has had an instant eavesdropping spots a lot. It looks like he's got a slowdown heading into the Melbourne hairpin right there as they go 2 by 2 ahead of him. That's Alistair Hay, Matty Hinkley ahead of him, and he's still getting overtaken. That's Roberto Fai getting around the outside. Clark Williams getting an overtake on Leonardo Cherry right there into the final hairpin, and now this is when things are going to get pretty crazy right here but very good first lap right now as Mark Williams sits in 14th, looking down the inside behind him. It's Rodrigo Duran. They're going to go 3 wide up ahead, side by side, Roberto Fai and Max Bartolota side by side. Fai and actually that's Laurentis. So De Laurentiis and Max Bartolota going side by side. Down the S's, they're still side by side. Heading into the old hairpin, they're still side by side. Oh no, Max Bartolota unfortunately was still on the outside. He tried to turn in, but there's still a car on his inside. They made contact, and oh no, that is so unfortunate right there in the old hairpin. Mark Williams getting a little bit of a side job as a lawnmower right there, kicking up a little bit of dirt as he stays in 12th place, up 2 spots when they started. Luciano Zanier side by side, as I believe it was Zoltan Zoboter, the car going slowly, stuck on the outside. He's dropped 3 spots.
Good. A lot of action there in the first lap. But Max Bartolota, the first couple of laps to forget for him, obviously getting the slow down out the S's, and then obviously getting a bit of contact coming through the grading curve. So around to him. So currently at the moment, all the way down 34 positions, or back in the grid is our current second place in the standing. Really needs to have a good round in this round of the championship to try and close that gap over Marteau, who's currently leading this race again out in front with Laney in second, just half a second from him, Patrick Colo in third. So again, Marteau taking up his normal position at the front of the field and trying to lead him out. So it'll be interesting to see if he can manage it again, try and just keep pulling out that lead by the end of the race. But certainly a lot of action there in the first couple of rounds.
Yeah, as you see, Max Bartolota is on the outside right there, already spun around. But this is what happened to Max. Heading to the hairpin, and oh, it's just locked up the front right wheel and just went sailing on by and dives it into the pit lane. So
maybe got some damage here, hasn't he?
it's damage and might have been, yeah, I think that's just a lot of damage. He's back out there now. So he's taking his fast repair and well, he's returned back into the grid. As this is Will McIntyre under pressure by Roberto Fai and Alistair Hay.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, that hairpin coming down into Melbourne hairpin is it's really tight when you've got to get that right. It just reminds me of the Montreal hairpin right at the end as you come down the long straight before the wall of champions turn. It's really tight, and you've got to be really committed into that corner to get it, and trying to go 3 wide or even 4 wide, as you were saying last night on the Apex, is probably not the advisable route coming down there, but we're certainly on board watching Fry trying to take on McIntyre for Pete 9th at the moment, side by side, coming through the Queen's Road, going through the old hairpin, and you're trying to get him on the switch back into that. I think it was a little tiny bit of contact, but fared a little bit better than Bartolota the last couple of laps ago.
He's got another inside move right here, but that outside line is so quick, and look out behind him. Here comes Alistair Hay looking for a little piece of this pie right there. But I feel like Roberto Fai has got a little bit in over his head with that switchback move. I think if there was contact, it would have been a 0x. Looks like there might have not been contact between them, but that was such a close maneuver right there. You see how aggressive they're taking the S's. That's one of the fastest chicanes in all of racing, and it's just one line. You can't really take two cars through there. If you take 2 cars through there, well, you're going to have to slow down by like 20 miles an hour to even make that corner for both of you, unless you know, one of them wants to take a trip off to the grass. It's me right on board. Mark Williams behind Alistair Hay, and you see Roberto Fai and McIntyre. They're side by side for a while. They're going all the way down to the inside. Speaking of the inside, here's Roberto Fai looking down to the inside, heading into turn 1. Side by side they go. Fai on the inside, and he's made that move work. Fai up into 9th.
Great move there by Fai. Just getting on the inside of McIntyre for turn number 1. McIntyre now, McIntyre just trying to get back into the crane and kills coming out of the old hairpin. Not getting it done there, and obviously coming under a lot of pressure now from Williams behind him. So Hay lost the position out there and just needs to watch out behind him for Williams. Got Williams in P12, who's all over the back wing of Hay's car at the moment, which is giving Fai the opportunity to try and get a little bit of a jump on these guys, and has managed to pull out a small gap. McIntyre is really feeling the heat at the moment from Clark Williams behind him in P12.
Yeah, McIntyre has got Hay and Williams behind him, and Leonardo Cherry is joining the fight as well. As this is a very tightly packed group right here, as we see Hay and McIntyre nose-tail with each other. A little small gap to Clark Williams, and O'Cherry in 13th is going to be very itching for a fight. So that's Williams dipping a wheel off into the grass right there, but everybody is just a bit separated right there for no immediate dives. Very cleanly fought race up here in the top 10.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's all in a nice line, taking some obvious moves of trying to get the overtake, and the other cars obviously realising that, letting them through, and they're just battling really cleanly at the moment in the top 10. But the one on a real big move is Matty Hingley, currently in P8, up 5 places from where he started, so he's having a great run here at Donington Park. Watching the battle here. Ryan Perry just getting a little bit swamped there with the guys around him. Dana Garcia currently out in front, but Perry there in P26 with Martin behind him in P27. It's one of these tracks, if you get offline slightly, certainly coming down the Crane and Essex and through the old hairpin, you can lose a lot of time, and if cars around you start swamping you, then that's when you start losing a lot of time. But it's always amazing when you come down to these S's, they literally just cut off the last bit of the S's, don't they? And, I don't even know what.
Oh, that's I think that was Fessy off in the S's.
Yeah, there was certainly a car round the other way there. Back to the pits.
No, he's still driving. I think that was Simon Fessy, the one that was turned around. Here is Simon heading into the S's. He's got Luca Verani behind him. And, he's just caught a little bit of the grass on the entry. And, yeah, it was Simon and pointed the other way. And, yeah, this is where we saw him. Got back into the grass, spun it around. And, kept it very clean on the rejoin as well. So, frustrated moment for Simon right there. But, keeping his head clear to avoid any other contact. Right, very taking a little rallycross line in. If there's a track that needs a rallycross, it doesn't need a rallycross track, it will be Donington Park. Well, a rallycross track here would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Ryan Barry obviously pushing his car to the limit with Dave Martin, Zoltan Zolmoto and Brian Voice behind him, just queuing up to try and get him back. So if he carries on making slight little mistakes like these 4 cars behind him will obviously be trying to capitalise on the mistakes he makes and trying to make the move through. But they're all sort of lining up behind Barry at the moment, Martin in 26, almost in 27, Voice looking down the inside there into the hairpin, not quite managing to get it done, but pushing out Zomoto a little bit, it's getting slightly bit closer to Zomoto in front of him there, but it's very different lines that people take through these 2 hairpins. We've got obviously the Melbourne hairpin and Gotthard's in 12th, so different lines that some of the drivers are taking just to try and maximise the speed on the exits.
Yeah, they're all trying to maximize the speed here and there, and especially on the exit. If you need to take the grass, you got to take the grass. It's kind of like Donington Park in a way, where you have to take that runoff in turn 1 to maximize your speed, and that's what they're doing here. It's a scary moment though, because in Donington Park in that runoff area, you got a little bit of laid bricks down there as Andrea Burketti is falling down the field. Burketti has had an incident.
I suppose you mentioned Donington Park as them being your least favourite tracks.
It was not like we raced there the last week in the first round, the ARL X5. No, second round. I'm still heated about it.
As you see there, Marto managing to put in the fastest lap, first person into the 1:19 and 1:19.89, so trying to extend his lead at the front of the field. But Joe Cherry there having a slight spin coming around Goddard. He's in no man's land now because the field is so tightly compact. You have a spin at one of these hairpins and you're off the track. Trying to get back on it, that's probably the biggest battle that we have, and as we saw there, losing a load of positions going down, and I think he's actually gone into the pits.
Yeah, he has gone into the pit lane, and This track will get you if you ain't paying attention to it. This is a great side-by-side fight right here. Laurentis and Clark Williams. Williams around the outside, able to hold off the attack on Massimiliano De Laurentiis. Laurentis, not the best start for him. Down 3 spots, trying to, you know, bring it all back. And, you know, you just got to do it slowly and piece by piece.
Great track layout this though, Dominic. It flows really nice into each of the corners. Even the slower corners flow nicely into each other. It gives optimal time, so it's a bit of a straight beforehand, and gives the opportunity for the drivers to make a pass, because when you go down the first half of the track, going down the crane and curves over the hairpin, there's not that much of an opportunity to make a pass and move in there, but the track makes up for it in the second half, going into the last sector as well, to opportunities for the drivers to try and maximise the positioning and try the moves down onto the inside, certainly into the hairpin. So yeah, a great track to watch, and this first part of the section of this track is always great, watching them come down the hill through the crane and curves up, and then start going back up the hill through the old hairpin and Starkey Bridge. Great part of the track, and such a wide runoff area, isn't it?
It really is a very long, wide runoff area, and you know, Formula One was meant to come here. A little bit of a surge. Oh, Brian Force, big crash!
He literally just caught the grass there coming out of the old hairpin, and it was a bit of a snaky moment all the way then, and literally could not hold it, and decided to go head on into the wall, which pretty much destroyed his car there, as we watch a replay here.
That was a very violent crash, and you know, to maximize on how big this impact was right there, I believe Mark is going to bring that into a super slow motion to see him trying to hit that, then BAM! Okay, no super slow motion right there, but you know, we still got to enjoy that all its glory, unfortunately.
Brian Voice into the pits, obviously taking the tow back. I'm not sure what the tow is on this pit, on this track, but it'll still be a considerable amount.
It's pretty long.
Yeah, he's out now, currently down in 39th position, so I lost a hefty amount of places through that incident.
You know, if I was not good at the Formula 3 and driving around here, I would let you know what the tow is, because I probably would have known it by now. But unfortunately, I don't, as Garcia had a little bad Zanier on his inside, as Massimiliano De Laurentiis side-by-side attack right there. Lucas Baruch setting it up there for 18th. Beautiful move by Lucas Baruch. And, you know, Massimiliano De Laurentiis falls to another spot now. He's had another incident.
Matty Hingley seems to be the one on the charge, really, up 6 places from where he started in P7th is Matty Hingley there, but he's having an exceptional race at the moment at the front end of the field. We're currently watching the battle for 23rd. Ryan Barry still holding that position over Martin and Zomoto behind him, but has in front of him Zanier and Garcia for company, for something for him to chase as well. So Ryan Barry's still sticking around the 23rd position mark, but has a lot of company around him for a bit of action out on track.
Yeah, the action is definitely wild out here right now. Ryan Barry is doing pretty well. Rodrigo Duran is in the top 10. He's doing a very great job, up 7 spots right here. But look, here's Roberto Fai looking down his inside right now as they head up the hill. Fai's got a great line, but he's got to have to. Oh, he's cleared a mid-corner, and Duran falls down to 7th. Roberto Fai back into the top 10. Great overtake by Roberto.
Yeah, it does. It seems to me if you get that car stuck down the inside coming down through Crane Curve's old hairpin and manage to make it stick, going up the hill, you have the advantage of the inside line coming through the cleans at turn 7, which is a real advantage. And as we saw there, a classic example of how it's done. We're currently on board with Will McIntyre in P7, who's got Luca Verani in front of him and Andy Flint in 15th at the moment as they come round Melbourne hairpin. looking there. Andy Flynn just getting a little bit sideways coming out, as you would say, Austin. A little bit too much mustard, but manages to save it as they come down the Gollards to start again for lap number 14. There's a great set of corners there where you go around the back of the pits and then fire it down the start-finish line. So it's a nice part of the track.
Yeah, it's a very entertaining. It's a very entertaining set of corners, and you know, a lot of things can happen right now. We got side-by-side action headed down the first section of S's into the old hairpin, and Andy Flynn gets past Lucas Ferrari, and Luca knows going side-by-side to the old hairpin. It's never really a good idea, as we see cars just lighting up on our SDK timing. As Martin Devine has had an issue in the background, and I feel like that's going to be a big spin for Martin Devine. He's still out there on track. We might get a replay of what's happening to Martin. It's a pretty big off from what I guess there is Dave Martin.
One of the Martins.
How many Martins are in here? We got Martin Devine, Dave Martin, and speaking of Dave, hey, hello, Dave. Defending on the inside, heading into the S's right there. And oh, he's defending it once again, heading to the Melbourne hairpin. And there's Zoltan's Zone motor on his outside, side by side they go. And, you know, I gotta say, the Melbourne hairpin, it's a pretty weird hairpin when you look at it. It's actually a double apex corner.
Yeah, it is. As, we're watching there behind Garcia and Zomoto side by side coming out in the last corner. And a big sprint race at the moment down to the first corner, but it looks like, as we see Garcia just diving down inside as Zomoto tries to cover it off at losing pace. Oh, wow! Crash out on the kitty there on the outside, and nearly losing it was Garcia in front of him. But during this battle, 2x2 coming down the crane of curves up into the old hairpin is Zanier and Barry, so having a real big fight into Barry, taking a lot of risk trying to go across the track at that part, you know.
Watch for Martin behind Barry. Oh, Martin really had a good run up there. He had to get onto the brakes a little bit to avoid making contact right there. It wasn't enough alongside of him to make that overtake happen. He's going to be in the draft heading into the S's, but he won't be as close enough. We got ourselves a great train right now, but Ryan Barry sitting second in this train, as it is Luciano Zanier, the Italian, leading out this train right here. We see Barry just looking down the inside, heading into the Melbourne hairpin, the two 90-degree right-hand corners. It's really two corners because there's a little bit of a straight in there, but it's just one corner.
It is one corner. It is one. And then you got the Gollards at the other end. So a tiny little bit of a straight between the two hairpins, which makes it for a bit of entertaining. But we're on board at the moment with Herbenu in fourth place, with Tellez just behind him. But out front, as usual, Marto getting a 2.7 second lead over Lamney in second place, with Patricolo in third, and then a 4-second gap to the fight that we're currently watching on screen between Herbenu and Tellez. Tellez just slightly off Herbenu at the moment, but should manage to pick up that slipstream and sort of erode into it and try and close that gap down. So it looks like he's certainly doing that at the moment, and might be able to make a move, or certainly be close enough going down into turn one to make it entertaining coming down the hill.
New fast lap for QTiago Marteau. It was a 1:19.7, and you can see that he was just miles faster than everybody else. I think he's the last lap is the only car to get into the 1:19s. 4/10 faster than Lamley in second place, and you can see the gap he's pulled on Lamley and Particolo. 2 seconds, 6 seconds, then 11 seconds to everyone else. So this is a great fight. Garcia side by side through the final hairpin. But Dave Martin, he's got a great run. Martin's all over that gearbox, down to the inside for Dave Martin. Side by side they go. Martin, he's got a nose down to the inside. And can he capitalize on this off the exit? No, he is not. As Garcia able to hold it around the outside, heading down the Craner curves and into the old hairpin. Are we going to be seeing a last late move into there? No, we are not. As we ride on board to Zoltan Zomer, who's got the best seats in the house in this fight.
Yeah, just watching the fight between Martin and Garcia at the moment, just biding his time, waiting for these two to have a come together, or obviously get one of them pushed offline.
6th place. Hingling and Giacchino were side by side for a moment. Saw that on our tower. Let's see if they go at it again. Yes, they are. Look at that. Matty Hingley defending on the outside, able to carry the speed through there and stay ahead of Max Giacchino.
Yeah, Hingley's obviously on a bit of a flyer at the moment. Just managed to get Max Giacchino there for P7th. So Hingley making a charge up to P6, or up 7 places from where he started. The front 5 really haven't changed a lot of places. Tellez in 5 has got on 1. Lamley, obviously, as we saw at the start of the race, managed to leapfrog Patrick Colo, and those two are remaining the same in P2 and P3. But Irvin, who's having a little bit of a quiet race at the moment there in P4, not really made any positions or lost any positions, so keeping it status quo. But certainly Matty Hingley enjoying his outing here at Donington Park, and now has Tellez in front of him to try and chase down for that P5 position. They take another trip through the S's there. Matty Hingley just trying to close the gap to Antonio Tellez in front of him as they come down again once more to the Melbourne hairpin. Just a short sprint up to the Goddards at P12 before the long start finish straight down to Redgate into turn 1. And it really does seem, if you try and get that car on the inside, it's a really good opportunity to get the run on the car that's in front to get down into the crane and curve. So that coming inside line into turn 1 seems to be the place to try and do it.
Yeah, turn 1 is definitely a great opportunity. It's not the slowest corner on track, but it's a great opportunity to really send one up there and then, you know, keep that position, because, you know, we got the dueling hairpins. Send one up the inside, and then this is Nick Carty. It looks like he's getting a slowdown penalty. Yeah, he's serving that slowdown right there, right before the S's.
Oh, that was a car off. That was a car off there. What in the background was that?
That's Matthew Brewer. The car just shot off to the left into the wall. I think I'm not sure what's happened there.
The car behind.
I don't think they touched, or if they did, it was no, they didn't touch. Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, that was a nice little shove from the iron and saying, there you go, have some wool.
I've heard of bump drafting, not slap drafting.
Definitely, as we watch on board again with Matty Hingley in 6th place. Still got Giacchino behind him, Max Giacchino in P7, hot on his tail, and losing a little bit of time to Tellez in front, probably trying to defend that position quite profusely over Max there in P7, who's trying to keep him honest, but certainly has an opportunity to maybe try and get down the inside, moves to the outside, moves to the inside, a great move, and lunges it down the inside, and I think he's got this done. Yeah, great move there, and manages to take Hingley.
Hello, my baby. What a move right there from Matty Hingley for P5. Man, Matty is on a roll today, up 8 spots, and he certainly knows how to overtake around here. It's a very tight track, and got a replay of this again. Oh, Matty Hingley, you want to save this and put it on a highlight reel. Look at this in the draft. Tony Menace looks like I'm going to sell it on the outside, sends it up onto the inside, heading into Redgate, covers them off on the exit into the Crander curves. Beautiful move by Matty Hingley. Right there, definitely. Textbook.
Sort of set him up as well before this first corner, because he went really wide into the
He sold him the fake.
Yeah, he did, and then just dove down the inside and sold him a kipper, did Hingley over Tellez there to get that position. So a great move there. Back on with Will McIntyre down in P16. Got Luca Ferrani in front for a bit of company. Has McIntyre, so McIntyre there in 16th with Luca Ferrani, and Andy Flint still there in 14th place at the moment. So these three pretty much having a little bit of a battle between themselves, but not real any gains made by these three drivers.
Yeah, no gains being made by these drivers through that little section, as Luca Ferrani is just staying ahead of Will McIntyre, trying to chase down Andy Flint as they head into turn 1. Looking around the field, it looks like Dave Martin is in position for another try. He's got Alvaro Garcia ahead of him as they head through Red Gate. See Garcia getting all the way out onto the curbs, just using all the track and then some as they head down the Craner curbs to the old hairpin. As a little bit of dust gets kicked up by Garcia.
It's like a bit of a hotly tested match for P10 at the moment between.
Yeah.
I'm just looking on the timing tower and it's getting ever so.
Rodrigo Duran and Roberto Fai.
Yeah, definitely.
It's actually Roberto Fai and Victor Barris behind him as they headed to Melbourne Hairpin.
Yeah, I think Fai did a great move coming down there into the S's, managing to overtake and leapfrog Victor Barris there. So a great move from Roberto Fai to move him up into P11. But really joining this battle, and Andy Flint getting it completely wrong going into Goddard's, losing 2 positions there. Varani capitalising, getting at the front of this group. But then you've got McIntyre that's sneaked in there ahead of Flint.
Flint's
so
going to be hot. Oh, I was expecting Flint to try to send a move down into there to turn 1, but we're not going to be seeing that from Andy right there. But that's what happens when you one hairpin gets you. Those 2 hairpins at the end of the track, they can either make your lap or end it right there in qualifying and in the race situation.
Yeah, it certainly is, and obviously now he has to try to recover again, get his composure back, and hunt down McIntyre in front of him and Varani to try and gain back their positions. But we're looking back here at the battle for P7 in front of his Tellez. Obviously we saw that passing move from Hingley a couple of laps before. Tellez now coming under battle from Max Giacchino in 7th, and Morello there in 8th place is not too far off this battle as well, so it could become a 3-horse race coming into the final third of this race.
2/3 down to Zanier and Ballagher. Ballagher's falling down the field. What has happened to Hector as he's towed into the pit lane? Hector Ballagher has had an issue as we get a replay of that happening right here. Here's Hector heading into the S's. Oh, just caught the grass on the entry. And I feel like he's going to catch the grass on the exit, and BAM! Oh, who's the other car that he hit? Is that a... No, that's Luciano Zanier that he hit.
Yeah, just a bit of an unfortunate bystander there with Zania. Didn't know what happened, just all of a sudden got hit from the right-hand side. So those 2 will be going back to the pits to get their car repaired and hopefully back out soon, but pretty much pays to their races today. But currently on board with Dave Martin in P20th, trying to chase down Garcia in P19th. In front of him, just got that slipstream effect at the moment, so should be able to close up on Garcia in front of him to try and make a move. Not quite close enough at the moment as they come down into the S's. So a great onboard view for the speed these guys take through. Almost going through them cones at the end, and Paul Combs must be feeling a bit. So coming down here into the Melbourne hairpin, and we can get a great thing where you say like it's a double apex. So you come out almost like one corner really, but when you see it from an outside car point of view, it does look very similar to the double apex. But Martin at the moment just trying to chase down Garcia in P19.
Yeah, easily for 19th right now. Dave Martin, well, he's pulled the double digits club up 11 spots from where he started. The biggest mover in the race is Adam Tausma, just in 22nd. He's up 20 spots. He was on the last row of the grid.
It's amazing how many places these cars can jump up in one of these races. Certainly if you the drivers around you. But Max Bartolo is trying to make a little bit of a comeback here, up to 23rd at the moment, and obviously behind Alan Talsma there. Obviously had a terrible start of the race, got a bit of a slowdown coming out of the S's, and then took a little bit of a spin where he had to go back to the tow back to the pit. So not the best start of the race for Bartolo, but making the best of a bad situation here and trying to get up as many positions as he can during this race.
And one driver who has never been in the conversation for how many positions he's gained throughout the race is Thiago Martel, because the #1 driver is always in #1, and I don't think he's ever left #1 for the last 6 races. He has been in #1 and has pretty much never left the quest for #1. And, you know, honestly, Thiago Martel's name should just be changed to 1, because 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1.
It's a bit of binary in it, I suppose, looking at Martel.
I don't think he's ever finished at 0, though. So
No.
it's a very one-sided binary.
Yeah, well, it's lots of ones.
One
great
area.
position, great position for him to be in. Obviously, just didn't have the best of opening 2 rounds within the championship, but certainly in the last 5 and looking to be on course for a 6th consecutive first place is Thiago Martel, who's currently leading the race and extending his lead at the moment, overlaying me in second, 3.3 seconds.
I think it was just called out in the chat.
Yeah. There you go, eh? Andrea Brachetti there in 31st, just having a look at the back of Zania in front of him in 30th, with Carty and Richard Robinson in 28th, Garcia there in 29th. And so a big long train here for the cars that are a lap down from the leader and just trying to battle out for that P26 position. You can see there a long train of 4 cars just following each other coming down the first half of the track. What are you getting called out for, Austin?
Motorsports Magpie posted in chat, I'd win this if it was a race between them and Andy. ... Austin would just take me up there. Oh, it's Mr. Whitehouse. Nick Carty.
Richard Robinson. I think that was Richard Robinson going off a little bit in the S's, taking the line, but not managing to spin it.
Look
So
up the inside. We also got a fight right there. Carty's on the outside. Brachetti, Luciano Zaner all over the place. And yeah, wow. A lot of action right there. It just pops off when you least expect it.
yeah, so the Brotherly battle is going to ensue now in 31st position. You got Noel Richie Robinson, and in 32nd position you got Killian Richie Robinson. So going to be an interesting race between the brothers to see who comes out on top. But we're looking at the battle here for P28, Zania in 29th. Brachetti just trying to close that gap down to him as they come down through the S's, up through the old hairpin and round the bridge corner. Is Brachetti there in 29th position, just trying to chase down Carty just behind him in P30th. But we jump right ahead now to P8 with Teles. Just
Christopher DeReal. That was Christopher DeReal. Yeah, that was into the crater curves. It was so fast we didn't really notice that it happened. And here's Max Chiquino. And yeah, here's Teles getting off at Red Gate. Big lockup. Kept it on the black stuff. Then here comes Lord Christopher DeReal right behind him. And Blinky will miss it. Whoop! This comes out of nowhere. It looked so nonchalant too that
it did, didn't it?
It didn't look like it was a pass, honestly.
No, it's okay, what's happening there?
But it was a pass. Teles lost 2 spots after that mistake in turn 1.
Yeah, definitely. But Roberto Fai seems to be on a bit of a charge here. Looking at Durant in front of him for that P10 position at the moment, right behind the car who's currently in P10, coming up to Goddard corner. So see if he can get an optimal line out of here, which is what he's looking for, taking that apex really deep and then trying to open out the corner to get a run down here to the start finish to try and make that passing move onto turn number 1. So I wonder if he'll do a Matty Hingley, go out wide and then just dive down the inside. So closes the gap quite considerably there over Duran, but not able to make the passing move though. Down the crater curves here, coming around the old hairpin, still keeping it nice and tight to Durant there.
Oh, here comes Roberto. He got a great line right now. He's looking down the outside. Here comes Roberto Fai. Side by side, they go into McLean's. Roberto Fai. Here we go up the inside. Beauty of a move by Roberto Fai. Back into 10th place.
Yeah, certainly if you line up the cars to try and get that inside line into turn 6, going into McLean's in turn 7, he'll get the passing move done, as we've seen it been done quite a few times during this race. But we're about to fly up into the top 10 as we watch back from him to Duran in P11 as they go through the S's as they come down to the Melbourne hairpin.
Melbourne hairpin, a little bit of a late braking move by Duran. And you can see both of them really chopping that exit actually pretty tightly. I think that's just mainly to line themselves up for the final opportunity, for the final hairpin to get a better run out there. Adam Talsma sitting in 21st. It's in a three-way fight with Zoltan Zomer ahead of him and Max Bartolota behind him. So yeah, 2 hairpins to go, and you were talking before this race that you've never really been in a race around this track configuration. It's always been the shorter, more traditional layout of Donington than the Grand Prix layout.
Yeah, I've obviously seen the TC cars when they're using the full GP circuit, but I've never actually driven around the whole, what they call, like you say, the GP circuit around here. It normally cuts from the S's where you've got the left and right turn. It's normally right and left as you go on to the start-finish straight, so you miss out the Melbourne hairpin and Goddard's. I've only ever been around here in a GT3 car and a GTE car, so never driven around it in the F3, so I imagine it is quite good fun in these cars considering the downforce that they have. Certainly going around, coming down the 2, 3 and 4 around the old hairpin up Saki Bridge. I bet that's a great part of the section in these cars. Really flying.
Yeah, downforce, quick, nimble, and light machinery. These things absolutely fly down here. Max Bartolota sending it down the inside of the Melbourne hairpin. But watch off this exit because he maximized the speed on the entry. Is Talsma going to have a little bit of say on there? It doesn't seem like he would send it back there, but Max Bartolota definitely great overtake right there heading into the Melbourne hairpin.
It does seem to be that thing, you can actually take it quite deep into that Melbourne hairpin, and on the exit, because you're pushing out wide, doesn't give the opportunity for the car behind you to try and make that move. And if they do, they're going to be looking on the outside as we watch a move here. But Tellez getting up on the inside, coming into the S's. Oh, as you said, do not go too wide into the S's, and that's the reason why we don't, ladies and gents.
Yeah, we go too wide into the S's, it turns into pretty much a 5. And you'll fall back, fall down.
Well, lucky escape there for Tellez and Morel for P7 and 8. So we're still managing to keep the positions, but losing a little bit of time over Giacchino in 6th place is Tellez and Morel. But Hingley at the moment still on that charge, just trying to close down on Herdanu in 4th place in front of him. So certainly Hingley's had a great exceptional round here at Donington, but we're rejoining the battle here. LaRue just trying to get down the inside, but Hay in front of him was like saying, no, you're not going to have that, I'll push you out wide so you can't make the pass and move. So a little bit of argy-bargy here between Hay and Ruel in P9.
Yeah, Ruel, it's going to be recovering after that little, pretty big mistake. I was going to say little, but no, that's a pretty big mistake that he had. Heading into the S's, looking down the field is Dave Martin closing out on Alvaro Vasquez Garcia.
Garcia seems to be in quite a few battles out on track. We saw him earlier on with Andy Flint and McIntyre, but now he's obviously joined up with Martin behind him. So Garcia seems to be going the wrong way in the field, which is down.
Oh, look at it behind him! On track, I'm not sure who that was. That was one of the Squadra Corsa cars going really wide in the fight. You can see that fight happening. Is that the, is that Max Bart? No, it's not Max Bartolota.
Yeah, he's behind these guys. I'm not sure if it was him. It would have been either himself or Talsman.
I'm not sure who that was. Here's Zoltan Zilbutter heading into the S's behind another car. And ooh!
That's one way to get your car back to the pits, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the best way. There's actually a shortcut to the pit lane on this track. heading out of the Melbourne hairpin, if you stay to the left, there's actually a pit-in lane right there. Though, I highly suggest that you don't take that lane. You will get disqualified for cutting the course.
Go as we see Matty Hingley just closing the gap of Hermanu in 4th place. So Matty Hingley really on the charge now and seeing blood in front of him over Hermanu, and is going to be right on the back of the car. We can only have 3 laps left of this race, so is there time for Matty Hingley to try and get that P4 position? But it's on an absolute charge at the moment, up 8 position to P5 at the moment. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past him getting past Hermanu for that 4th place. He's certainly a man with the pace today.
He certainly is, and if there ever was a chance, he's going to make that chance happen right there, as this is Herbino and somebody off the track. That was Richard Van Veen just letting these two by. Here comes Matty Hingley. Hingley's definitely got the opportunity, but Herbino through the old hairpin. Well, he brought back that gap and his advantage, and Matty going to have to get everything right to get ahead of Christopher Herbino. We know on how fast that they are. Matty Hingley dipping another wheel off the track once more. And taking up a little bit of grass and taking a much wider line. Looking for a faster line in there. They're closing in on the 41. It's a lapped car right there. Heading into the S's. Herbino using all the draft that he can from every driver on there. It's a little bit rough through the S's, but they stay in close contact with each other. Matty Hingley, though, is so aggressive on the brakes. Just nailed that. He was running all over the curb that entire time, and he's gained all that time back. Matty Hingley sending it into the final corner. I didn't think that he had the space to do it, but yes, he does. Matty Hingley, with just a few laps remaining, sends one on Herbino, but here comes Herbino. The Delta Sport driver had the better exit. Hingley defending on the inside. Oh, they made contact! Hingley moved to the middle. Hingley moved to the middle of the track to defend for Herbino. Herbino didn't know where Hingley was. They pretty much drove into each other, and guess what? They're gonna be rejoining this fight, but Matty Hingley falls down to 5th place. But look behind him. Here's Max Shakino looking for 5th.
I mean, well, his car is damaged. His car is damaged. He's got some sort of suspension damage. Going to lose places. A really unfortunate end to what was turning out to a last two-lap battle. He's not going to be able to continue, unfortunately. Yeah. Matt Hingley after an exit. Oh,
There's also a crash in that corner as well. That was Matthew Gracie and Richard Van Veen. Both of them have had an incident, as Matty Hingley is just trying to get that car back into. Oh yeah, he's grabbing. Look at the front left, front right wheel is just absolutely scampered sideways right there. He's going to be a danger, especially hitting a big group on that. Max Bartolotto looking down the inside of McLean's as they go up the hill. As Bartolotto is definitely looking for another opportunity to get 19th place. He's got a great run on Garcia. Ahead of him, Bartolotto looking side by side, heading into the S's. Hold on to your horses, ladies and gentlemen. Bartolotto, well, throwing no holds barred. It's either you're going to break or one of us is going off right now. Here's what happened to Herbino and Matty Hingley. You see Hingley defending all the way to the inside, and now moving over to the middle. And it just looks like Hingley just missed the turn-in, missed the apex of the corner, and just went wide. Herbino was taking a wide line anyway, so that's on Hingley, I must say.
I think it was 50-50. I do believe Herbino actually turned in, so he could have taken a wider line through turn number 1. Matty Hingley was obviously on that tighter line into turn 1, so will naturally, migrate out to the middle of the track. So, I think that was possibly down. It's a 50-50 call, I think, at the moment. But we are on our final lap, and as always, Marteau at the front of this field has just started from pole, stayed out in pole, and just gradually increased about 5.9 seconds over Landy.
Oh, 3 wide for a little bit right there. Look at Matty Hingley still driving a damaged car. He is still going on right there. And look at that. He's not even pointed straight heading into the Melbourne hairpin. He's driving a damaged car. White flag is in the air. He's got another lap to go because Thiago Marteau is on the next lap as Rodrigo Duran all over the gearbox of Roberto Fly.
Yeah, definitely. I thought Matt Higney might try to stay out because he'll just lose too much time in the pit. So throwing caution to the wind and saying, do you know what, I might as well just stay out and see if there's any positions. But we just see him going back, and it's a real terrible end to his race. He was flying on this track, and an unfortunate incident happens in. But one driver that certainly has had 0 incidents. Very little mention on the stream, but is QTiago.
Hingley's gone into the pit lane. He couldn't do it.
As we watch Marteau coming over the line for race number 6 in a row victory. Is anybody going to stop Marteau's dominance of this series? 6 races in a row in P1. Lamley there coming on in 2nd place, and Patrick Olo just coming around Goddard's to make it the top 3 within this race.
I think Marteau, he's won half the races of the season at the end of the season with 12 races. Heck, he could just like not show up and still win the championship, honestly.
Probably good, you know, the guy probably fall asleep, have a hardware failure, crash off and still end up somehow winning the race. He's just got that much luck, and he just knows his cars inside out and able to drive it.
He can install iRacing on another computer, crash out, log in, relaunch iRacing on a different computer, and still win the race.
Possibly, but yeah, as we watch.
Don't try that, by the way. I'm not saying try it. It's possible though that he could.
He's just going to be extending his lead now. Obviously, his nearest rival, Max, not having the best to start, managing to get up to P18th in the end, but still 13 places down from where he actually started from. So not the best of outings there for Bartola in 18th place, 6.6 seconds down, but from Martin. But a good comeback considering he was in 35th place, so not too bad of a recovery there in the end for Bartolota.
Yeah, Bartolota, not the best start. Was involved in an incident, fell down to 35th, but as we said, he did pull his way back up through the field as be right on board of our winner once again, Thiago Marteau, as I believe he's going to get a little bit of a salute from his buddies. As they round the final corner. Are we going to be seeing some donuts? No, we're not. This is a little trip into the pit lane as everybody is going to wind down here after this crazy race. As Andy has your race results.
And here we have it. Thiago Marteau is 6th race win in a row, wins another one here at Donington Park. Ron Lamy in 2nd, Pier Francesco Partacolo taking your last podium position. Ebonu in 4th, Giacchino in 5th, Hay, Tellez, Varela and 5 with Duran rounding out your top 10. Victor Varas, Luca Vari in 12th place, Robert Ridgway, McIntyre, Flint, Maruk, Martin, Bartola in P18th, Avril Garcia in 19th, Talsma, Lorentez, Hingley, Berry, Milner, Zena, Brachelli, Marcella, Carty, Richie, Robinson, Noel, that is in 29th. So Mota in 30, Killian Richie Robinson in 31st, Mark Devine in 32nd, Matthew Gracie, Dennis Brewer, Veen, Barlow and Williams are your top 38. In 39th, we've got Leonard Cherry, Brian Voice, Simon Fessy, Guji Aito and Ron Kodak round out your field of 43 here at Donington Park.
Yeah, next week we head over to the Nürburgring with the WEC layout of the ring, so that race should be pretty interesting to see how it goes. I know the Nürburgring always an exciting, it's a Grand Prix layout. It's not the Nordschleifer. I would pay to see. I would pay to see the. I would pay to see these cars on the Nordschleifer, but no, we are not. And the BS WEC, you know, it's got the arena, though it's the looser chicane at the end. So it's not the tire chicane. Heading into turn 16, it will be the looser one, and that's going to be very, very That's going to be very interesting to see how that plays a lot faster.
Get your words out there, Austin.
Sorry.
I thought you went off there. I was like, has he gone off?
My brain my brain is just, it's too much enthralled in the racing. When the racing stops, it just fails. Well, thank you all for watching here at the iGPFun-F3 series presented by 3DRap.it. I've been joined by Eddie Thompson, Mark Tranter in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers, including Peter Berryman, John Robertson, Brandon Trano, and IndyCar World Champion Alex Palou. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.